Okay, let's look at percent. Percent is a ratio of a number to 100. You can remember that percent means per 100. The model below is a 10 by 10 grid. What we're going to do is model 55% inside that grid. Remember, 55% means 55 out of 100. So if I have 100 squares and I want to model 55%, that would be 55 of those squares out of 100. So there's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Whoa. Hold on, this is doing some crazy stuff right here. Let me just erase that little part that went all over the place. There we go. There's 50. And then I want to highlight 5 more. 55. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 55 out of 100. Okay, let's have a look at example number 2. Example number 2 says write the following percents as fractions in simplest form. So the first thing we're going to do is say it. So that's 40%. Now remember, 40% is 40 out of 100. So we'll write 40 out of 100. And then we're going to divide by a common factor. So let me look. Well, let's try dividing by 10 over 10 first. So if I divide by 10 over 10, that would be 4 over 10. But I can still reduce that because those are both divisible by 2. So if I divide by 2 over 2, that fraction equivalent would be 2 fifths. So in simplest form, 40%, 40 out of 100 reduces down to 2 fifths. Let's take a look at 35%. So 35% would be 35 out of 100. And then I'm going to divide by the greatest common factor, which would be 5 over 5. Okay, so 35 divided by 5 is 7, and 100 divided by 5 is 20. So that fraction in simplest form would be 7/20. It's pretty easy. Okay, let's have a look at the very bottom now, and I'm running out of room, so what I might do is go back above. We'll see. Okay, now let's take a look at 24%. Remember, 24% means 24 out of 100. So if I do 24, whoops, I need to grab my pen again. 24 out of 100. I'm going to take 24 and divide by 100. Okay? Now, I'm going to put the top in the box. But you know what, guys? I think I'm going to go back up to the top and do this one. So let's go up to the top, just so I can show you. Now, you're going to stay where you're at on yours, but I'm going to take 24, grab my pen again, 24, and I'm going to divide by 100. Okay, so I'm going to add a decimal point. And how many times does 100 go into 240? And it goes twice. So that would be 200. And I'm going to subtract and bring down a 0. And how many times does 100 go into 400? Goes 4 times. So the decimal equivalent of 24%, which is the same as 24 out of 100, is 0.24. Okay, if I were to look at number 3b, I would look at that the same way. I would write that as, 70 out of 100. So I would put the top number in the box, 70, the bottom number outside. I'd add a decimal point and a 0, bring my decimal point up above in my quotient, and 100 goes into 700 7 times evenly. So as a decimal, that I could read that as 0.7 or 7/10, or you can add a 0, that would be 70 hundredths. Okay, guys, great job. I will see you tomorrow, and we'll talk further on percents. Okay.